123-456. We have a breaking news update on the manhunt. We have a breaking news update on the manhunt for a murder suspect. It's been underway in Eagle County all morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sam Shocker. Authorities believe they were close to arresting the man during a traffic stop on I-70 near Dotsero this morning, but he got away after shots were fired. The Eagle County Sheriff's Office is talking about the latest in the case. That news conference is just getting underway, so let's go live to it now.
The car was subsequently stopped.
Is there a way to get the feedback out of my ear, you guys?
There was shots fired, and they were exchanged between the persons who fled the vehicle. One person ended up getting injured in the exchange. It was not the deputy. And Colorado Bureau of Investigation is here and investigating the officer-involved shooting aspect of it and any kind of criminal charges that would be related to that. I don't have a whole lot of information from Colorado Bureau of Investigation. They will be releasing information as it comes out, but for those of you who want to follow up with that one, the PIO for the Colorado Bureau of Investigation is going to be Rob Lowe. I want to just acknowledge that our priority is public safety. So to kind of give you a rundown, the deputies around 4 a.m. this morning attempted to stop a vehicle that was involved and had a suspect in it that was involved in a homicide investigation going on in Westminster PD. And the PIO, for additional information, if you guys want on that investigation, is going to be the PIO for Westminster PD is Sam Spitz. At the time that we stopped the vehicle, 2 people came out of the vehicle, and then shots were exchanged between Eagle County Sheriff's deputies and the people who had fled. 1 person ended up being injured. They were treated at the scene. They were taken to the hospital. They had minor, non-life-threatening injuries. They've been treated and released from that time. None of the law enforcement, none of the deputies involved ended up with any kind of injuries. The suspect, we put out a picture of the suspect. We do have some additional pictures if you folks want some pictures after that one. Suspect that we're looking for is 30-year-old Kenny Espinoza. The suspect was last seen wearing dark clothing, and he fled the area, which led to an extensive manhunt and search that's going on right now, and it's still ongoing. There were 5 additional people that were in the vehicle, which also included some minor children. So given that the information was in potential threat to the public, we ended up closing I-70, and we also did a shelter-in-place orders that we put in place for public safety and for also to make it more beneficial for us to be able to search for the suspect who had fled on foot. These decisions are never taken lightly, and we know how they can disrupt people's lives, and we really appreciate everyone's cooperation in following that one. It does get really confusing on certain points. We acknowledge that. But we have our special operations unit, we have multiple law enforcement agencies, many of our partners, which we're grateful to have, who are out there currently searching, and the search is continuing to ongoing. So currently, Colorado Bureau of Investigation is on I-70, and they are investigating the aspects of the officer-involved shooting. And we're very hopeful in the very near future that I-70 will be opened up again, and that the traffic can start flowing again and resume more normal traffic flow, if you would. Again, I really want to acknowledge this causes a lot of stress for everybody. And I'm very grateful for the professionalism of all the law enforcement agencies and everyone here, as well as all the support that we've gotten. Numerous calls from fellow sheriffs, fellow law enforcement agencies, federal agencies, and everybody else, and everyone's willing to offer whatever assistance they can to make a quick and safe end to this matter and get this person in custody. So one of the things that we're really trying to stress on here is we're asking everyone to rely on official updates and to avoid speculation and conversations because they lead to a lot of rumors and erroneous information. And one of those that we want to put the kibosh on right now is some of the rumors is that there's an ICE operation, and this is involving ICE, and there's an ICE operation that's going on, and that is absolutely not true at all. So we want to put that quickly to rest. So other than that, there's a multitude of resources that are coming in. We have teams that are already, we're still ongoing with the search. We have additional teams that are coming in to relieve the first set of teams. We've received much help from even the Salvation Army, making sure that the teams are fed and they're rested, and the investigation is ongoing. So I'm willing to take a couple quick questions. I don't have a whole lot more information other than what I provided you, but I'll take a couple quick questions and then we're going to call this good.
Sheriff, you mentioned you're optimistic you'll be able to open the interstate shortly. Do you have plans to open the interstate without capturing this person, or does that mean you're closing in on capturing it?
Right now, I can tell you that the interstate is being held closed because it involved a criminal investigation, which CBI is currently doing, which is the officer-involved shooting. We've cleared, and we feel fairly comfortable around the area directly off of I-70 that the suspect is not there at this time, but we're not 100% sure. But once we have all that information, then we will be making that final decision, but we're leaning at this time of it looks like it'll be opened up very shortly.
And then along those lines, obviously a huge closure area. Can you clarify at all, you mentioned he fled on foot, did he swim, did he climb? This is a pretty narrow area. How did he get away?
He took off running at the time, and that's all we can sit there and say at this time is we know that he took off running, but it's a very open area. There's a lot of places to hide, a lot of places, and it was early morning, so it's very dark out. And so again, We cordoned off the area as best we possibly could, and we're continuing to go back and track and trying to do everything we possibly can. We have multiple resources, including aerial resources in the air, drones, et cetera, so that we're throwing everything that we have at this to find the suspect, because we want to get them safely in custody and put the community at rest. I really want to stress that this is not over yet, and so the shelter in place will remain in certain areas where we're not comfortable yet, and we want people to be very aware. So again, one of the simplest things that we keep telling people is, if you see a hitchhiker on the road and anywhere in there, don't pick them up. Call us, but also look at the picture. If it looks like this one, please contact us, and we're happy to respond.
Can you give us a physical description of the subject or the suspect, and where was he from?
You'll have to actually, I don't have that in front of me, so I can't tell you that other than what the picture is that's been provided. But if you follow up with my PIO who's standing right next to you, they can probably give you some of that.
Sheriff, the initial release said there were possibly hostages in the car. Can you clarify if that turned out to be true?
We're still sorting through that. There was 5 other people, as I talked about. There was 5 other people in the car. We're not necessarily going to call them hostages. We're still sorting through the whole, what the relationship was and what it is. So that's still an active investigation.
Last one from me, the kind of urgent, immediate information on the shelter-in-place aspects. I believe that was initially in the Dotsero immediate area.
Yes.
Has that expanded? Is it still that exact area?
It's actually declined. There's some areas that they felt comfortable opening back up again, so but it is in the Dotsero area. Any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you all.
Thanks, sir.
And you just heard from Sheriff Van Beek in regard to the manhunt of a murder suspect. The sheriff was speaking in Eagle County, and he spoke of the suspect, 30 years old, Kenny Espinosa. He claims that he's wearing dark clothing. There is still a shelter in place in that area, and the sheriff did ask anyone in the community, one, to respect the shelter in place if that does affect your area, as well as if you do see him, as we did put up some pictures, to call 911. He also disclosed, Sheriff Van Beek, that 5 additional people were in the vehicle, including minors, and that CBI is still investigating. He did mention that they hope that I-70, that they can get 1 lane on each side open as soon as CBI has completed their investigation. He also wanted to dispel the rumor. Apparently there's already rumors circulating that this is an ICE investigation or an ICE operation, and Sheriff Van Beek wanted to state very clearly that that is false. We will continue to monitor this ongoing investigation. There are still a lot of unanswered questions on 9 News and 9news.com, and we will continue our coverage at 3.